Here's WWDC 2018. It's going to be great, and I mean great. It might even be better than Apple's iPhone launch event because it's going to release so many new hardware and software devices, so this is going to be a long video. Stay tuned to watch every single thing which is going to be released. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch some more awesome tech videos in the future. This video is going to be divided into 3 sections, number 1 being software, non-Mac hardware, and then Mac, because there's a lot of Mac coming in this, and there's also a lot of devices in general, and software is going to be your normal daily or yearly software. But hardware, there's a lot coming to the table this year, and it's going to be interesting to find out every single thing which is going to come. So let's just start off with the software, because it's never better to look at the thing which powers that awesome machine that you own every single day. Starting, we have iOS 12. Almost half the phones out there are iPhones, I believe, and a lot of the iPhones are iOS 12 compatible. But Apple is going to double down on the security this time, and not that cool notification icon or the design hall or anything like that. It's going to be a subtle improvement, and you're not going to notice it really, but in the background, it's going to be heavily improved with better security issues and less glitches and bugs, which we experienced a lot with iOS 11. One is watchOS 5, because Apple has really not stepped the game up from the first Apple Watch Series 1, and it's really not making it any better. They have their own backgrounds, they're not making anything. So the expanded watch face store, which is going to come with the new Apple Watch OS 5, is really, I mean, some people would like that because they have their own custom faces that display everything that they need for their daily workouts or their work ethic or whatever they do. And that'd be really nice to see, because who never wants some extra added features into watchOS? Come on. I do, you do, we all do. OS 10.14, we don't know what it's going to be called yet. It's not going to be like High Sierra or something like that. They're probably going to get a new mountain name in somewhere there. The naming scheme, we don't know. But it's just going to be like iOS 12, no really design overhaul. I mean, yeah, you'll get the new background and everything. But it's more about the security and making it more secure, because if you remember back, I think in November 2017, there was a hack where any person could log into a Mac without the password, and that scared me in general because I'm a Mac user too, and that was really scary, and that took a lot of people out of Macs. But it was a little good for Apple that the word didn't spread about this, because if it did, then a lot of people would have just abandoned the Mac, because Macs are always advertised as being like one of the safest computers out there. But if you can log into your Mac without a password, then that's just the worst thing which can happen, in my opinion. Last but not least, we have an updated TV OS coming. It'll probably work with the HomeKit, more integration into HomeKit, which is Apple's smart home platform, and it's not really a major upgrade. It's just a small one, because Apple's never really popped out TV OS that much, and I feel like it's just gonna stay where it is, because it's already that good. I don't really know what Apple can make it better. I mean, maybe a design overhaul, maybe a better animations. I don't know what they could do, but they are gonna be rumored to updating tvOS. On Mac hardware, let's dive right into this section. This is my favorite of all, because this is what's gonna be reimagined with Apple this year, and I can see Apple returning to its strong Apple Steve Jobs era with these 4 new products. We have the iPhone SE 2. Of course, the classic, the small phone, the iPhone 5 form factor is making a return in 2018. I don't know why, but I feel like instead of marketing this towards the small user, because most of the small users are becoming into big users. I used to be a small one, but then I'm like, yeah, now I own a 6.3-inch phone, so there's not that big of a market. But this is more of the budget iPhone, the best iPhone you can buy for the cheapest amount of money, and that's what this is going to be going for. And it's going to have an iPhone 10 like design, as picture shown right here, and it's going to be really cool, I'd say. and it's gonna have Face ID in that notch right here. Yeah, it's gonna have a notch. Apple created it, so I'm fine if Apple does it, but Android, no, stop going that way. And no home button, also as shown in the bottom. We don't know if it'll have a glass back yet, and probably no dual lens cameras as this concept shows right here. The back looks like just an iPhone 8 sensor, which is still pretty good. 4K 60 FPS, 12 megapixel camera, it's all pretty good. You have this, AirPower. Remember this back in September 2017? What went on with it? What was going on? Because that was such a nice product. That was such nice innovation. But then Apple never sort of came out to release it. That sort of disappointed us. But we finally hope that we can see something this June in WWDC 2018, because there's a new product launch coming right after this one, which can drive this, and Apple has rumored to have a lot of trouble with this technology, because the Apple Watch sensor, you have to place it in the middle, and they're just having a little trouble like making everything right, or maybe they're prioritizing some of the other products in the upcoming video, in this video. So yeah, AirPower is coming. That's awesome. You have AirPower to come as shown right here in the picture. Yeah, you got the iPhone already, you got the Apple Watch, but wait, my AirPods right here cannot charge wirelessly. I mean, I always have to plug in this lightning port into it. So Apple is also rumored to making a new AirPods case, or in general it will be called the AirPods 2, and that'll be pretty much just the case and no improvement to the earbud itself, just an improvement to the case. It'll be wireless charging compatible, probably a little bigger battery, fast charging, a bunch of things like that, and that'll be nice because then it would allow AirPower to be used to the max, and that's what we're hoping for. iPad Pro 2018, who can get past that? I saved the best for the last. That's what I'm most pumped up for, because that's an awesome product. Because I always think that if you can make a product which can pretty much give everything that we need, an iPad and a Mac and all that processing power, just really blows my mind. But one thing that will not be coming this year, which I really sort of wanted, is macOS in iPad, because iOS just doesn't work good, and for on-the-go video editing that I might do in the future, I still have to bring my computer, because I am not going to edit an iMovie, which isn't really that much. FCP is a little better, and iPad Pro doesn't really give that. And even if they made a mobile FCP app just for iPad Pro, that would just make it way better. But without further ado, here's a picture of it right here. Doesn't it look stunning? It's rumored to get a new Apple Pencil 2, Face ID support, the glass back, probably not, wireless charging, probably not, because it's such a big device, and also no home button. As you can see right here, it has a notch, but the whole form factor itself, as you can see, is, I mean, you probably can't see it in the picture, but let me show you right here. The iPad Pro is probably this big now, but now with the new display, the display size isn't gonna improve. It's just the actual form factor is gonna get smaller and more portable, in my opinion, and that's pretty cool. And the 10.5-inch iPad Pro might even get an upgrade to 11 inches, which will be the perfect size for a student. So iPad is really getting a big bump up in this year. Question for you guys: what would a WWDC release be without some Mac upgrades? We're gonna get a counted list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 5, but 6 new products rumored, and that's a lot, and that's a mouthful to talk about. So this video is gonna be a really long video too. Now we have a new MacBook Air, something which I've really hoped for. I've seen this, and this is my daily driver now, so I really want an upgrade to this, but usually I'm saving up for a new MacBook Pro, and that'll be my go-to. But it'll be really nice to get a new MacBook Air, because some students are still using this, but they need more power if they're in film and animation, but they don't want to shell out $2,500 for a powerhouse Pro, so I get why they would make a new release of the MacBook Air, and to be honest, this has been due for a long time already. Remember this? The 12-inch MacBook back in 2015 got so much hate for, one, the keys, because they had pretty much 0 millimeters of key travel, and also it received a bunch of hate for this, the USB Type-C port, but thankfully the dongle gods have came to us, and look at both of these hubs that they've created for the 12-inch MacBook. Awesome. People have really solved a way throughout Apple's quirks that they've made, and Apple's just trying to make you spend as much money as they can. Come on, that's Apple style, but this year it's just gonna get a small spec upgrade to maybe an 8th gen chip and probably a little better graphics chip, I don't know, maybe? And could we see something where i5 is the base instead of an M3 processor? I'd really like to see that, because it's very underpowered with that M3 processor, I can tell you. And when you're paying $1,300, you really want to see a better processor than that. The party begins. The MacBook Pro 13-inch, now coming with an 8th gen chip, Radeon Pro 600 series, and 4 cores worth of processing. Doesn't that seem like a beast to you? The thinnest, lightest, and smallest 13-inch MacBook Pro is finally getting worth to the Pro name. The little Pro icon that it badges. That's finally going to be improved, because a bunch of tech reviewers are complaining that what really makes this MacBook Pro 13-inch $1,299 model a Pro machine, it looks just like a MacBook Air, except elevated a little more, and I agree, but this year you're getting 4 cores with the Radeon Pro 600 series graphic chip potentially included into the MacBook Pro 13-inch, and an 8th gen chip. That sounds like a legit Pro machine to me, and I'm really waiting for this device a lot. But this doesn't mean that it's going to be equally powered to the 15-inch MacBook Pro, because a 15-inch has some tricks up its sleeve of its own. 13-inch, shown right here, has got its glory, but how about the 15-inch, the bigger brother, the one power users are using today? Well, it's gonna get an even bigger spec upgrade. An 8th gen chip again, Radeon Pro 600 series, with rumored 32 gigabytes of RAM, and also a 6 cores. The same amount as a Mac Pro base today. 6 cores worth of processing units. How much is that? How much power can we actually generate with that? And how faster is video rendering gonna get? I just can't wait for that machine to come out. And this is gonna be even more of a power horse than the already power horse new 13-inch coming soon. And we are not gonna see the Apple processors, that'll probably come in 2020 according to Apple, so I still can't wait for everything coming to the Mac lineup in the future, too. Redesigned Mac Pro. Picture right here of the 2013. It looks just like this, the trash can that everyone owns in their house. But it's really not. And this year, Apple's gonna tease it a new Mac Pro. And they're gonna release it probably in January or February 2019. That's probably when the release date's gonna be. And it's gonna be way redesigned, because everyone wants pretty much the processing power of an iMac Pro, but they don't want the display because that's a chunky bezels and it looks just like a 2002 display back then. And they just want a nice PC, you know? Not a PC, but a nice computer that they can plug in with their own screen and gaming and whatever they want to do. So, redesigned Mac Pro coming. We don't know exactly what it's gonna bring, but Apple did tease before that it would be modular. That means you can replace the RAM, graphics chip, or maybe even the actual CPU of it later on. But knowing Apple, modular probably means you can upgrade the storage or the RAM, which isn't really big of a deal anymore. Alongside with that, we have the new Apple display. We don't know how exactly it's going to look, but here's a picture I found online after digging through, and it looks really nice from the outside. You got the minimal bezels, I'd say, and it looks pretty cool, I'd say. And Apple is rumored to be making an 8K. 8K, yes, you heard me right. That is gonna be a humongous upgrade. And that's a lot, because that is 4 times the amount of the 4K display you get in the 21.5-inch iMac right here. And dang, I cannot imagine that much display. But probably the only one which is going to support this, the full 8K resolution, is probably going to be the new Mac Pro, as I told you before. So, of course, these two products are going to go hand in hand, and that's going to be the best power user machine that you can get, definitely. But you probably have to wait 6 to 7 months for that to actually appear. That's the recap of WWDC 2018. It's going to be a really feature-packed event with really nice Macs, iPads, iPhones, and even iOS-related devices coming. And it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be live on apple.com. It's shown right here. You should visit it, watch the live stream that they're going to offer, because it's going to be really feature-packed, and I really want to see what they're going to release and how they're going to go into innovation further and beyond. But before I leave, please subscribe to my channel. I need this. I need all the support that I can get. And yeah, if you want all some tech reviews, subscribing is enough for you. Thanks for watching, and this is 24/7 Tech signing out. Peace.